You are God, so you have to treat yourself as such. God as an entity has infinite intelligence, infinite mindsight, infinite knowing and understanding, because God is infinite. God is everything. God is all that is. So you have to understand that you are that God. You are I am. You're everything around you, right? If you have infinite mindsight, which you do, your mind is literally infinite. You get to you can literally extract ideas and thought patterns and thoughts and downloads from the fucking ether, bro. And you can begin to create stuff that nobody's ever seen simply because you're in tune with yourself. And how you get in tune with yourself is through silence, right? In order for you to go to the kingdom in heaven, you have to go through Jesus first, right? Now, really, the only thing that the kingdom of heaven is just infinite clarity, infinite peace and tranquility. How do you reach this infinite peace and tranquility? You have to be with yourself in silence. You have to listen to yourself. You have to go within. And this is where you'll begin to understand, like, all this stuff that you were worrying about was never really a problem. It was just an indicator that this particular aspect of your life, you just needed to take care of it. The only thing that people have been trying to reach that same God state is enlightenment, right? And the way you reach enlightenment is literally just waking up to your own ability, waking up to your own power. So how do you do this? Or how do you begin to do this? Meditation, sitting with yourself in silence, not looking 24/7 on the outside of yourself for external validation, for the next move, because any move that you make is the right move, because the universe wants to prove it right. God wants to prove it right. God wants to answer all of your prayers. You're just asking him the wrong shit. You're asking him for the wrong stuff, right? So you have to go within yourself and figure out what you truly want, whether or not that contradicts what you're currently doing, whether it's something completely new that nobody has ever seen or something that already exists. We have the ability to do this because we have free will. We can make any choice that we want to, and we also have infinite mind sight within our mind, because there's no limitations in the mind unless you put those limitations in your mind. This is where negative paradigms and negative beliefs come in at, because it limits your ability to see what is actually true, see what's actually your truth, right? This is why you have so many perspectives and beliefs in the world, is because everybody has their own truth. There's a bunch of paradoxes, there's a bunch of contradictions within the world. So it's really hard to 100% guarantee and know what is the fucking truth. You have to find your own truth. That's the reason that we're on this fucking planet, right? And once you find your own truth, once you find a set of beliefs that actually serve and work for you, you can begin to create anything that you want on this planet. So you have to understand, we have the Holy Spirit within us. We have the creator energy within us. So whatever that you desire, it can be a fucking $20 million home. If you want that $20 million home, bro, you can get the $20 million home. Now, the time horizon for you to get that home, it may be long or short. That's not for you to worry about, because you're all that is. If you can see it right here, it's already created. It's not like when you think about something, you're thinking about it in another fucking dimension. Yeah, I mean, it's the fucking mind. I guess you could say it's another dimension, but you're a third dimensional being. So the fact that you can even think about shit as a third dimensional being means that it's already created. It just hasn't materialized physically for you to actually go and use or touch that thing. So when you think about a certain goal that you want to achieve, it's already created. You got to understand that it's already fucking created. You just have to sit here and listen to your intuition, listen to your intuitive guides, your inspired action to make that come to fruition. Because God wants to answer your prayers. The universe wants to prove you right. So if you deem that as true, if you deem it as already created, and you already are that particular thing, you just have to wait. You have to wait. It's like if I ordered a set of blue light blockers on fucking Amazon, I know that package is coming to me for sure. I know that those blue light blockers are coming to me because I ordered it. Now I just have to wait for it to arrive at my door. It's the same way with manifestations. It's the same way with goals. The action of you waiting is literally you doing the actions that confirm that goal, right? You don't even have to really think about the actions really too much. You don't have to think about it too hard. You just have to get rid of all the negative beliefs and doubt about that particular goal, about your belief to achieve that goal, and just do the actions and you'll get there, because things will mold to you because you are that thing, bro. Your electromagnetic field is your aura, right? Now, what makes up your aura? Your vibration, your frequency on this planet. So each and everything that you desire has a specific frequency and vibratory rate. Now, how do you be a match to this vibratory rate or to this desire? The emotion that you tie to the visualization about that specific goal will match you by itself to that frequency, right? Now, when you visualize, when you condition your mind to be in that end state, to be in that end goal, over time, your total being will just mold to that frequency, and that'll be your new frequency. Now, there's specific things that the universe, your ego, would throw at you, because your ego doesn't like change. Your ego wants to keep you safe, so it doesn't like change, because that puts you at risk to fucking die. But you gotta turn that primitive mind off. You gotta turn that primitive side off in your mind to be able to understand, like, bro, I'm God, right? The only reason we have the ego is to keep us protected, but you can get the ego on your side. This is how you get the ego on your side. So you have to repetitively deny the material situations that will manifest from your ego trying to keep you safe. You have to deny those situations. Choose to be in the end state. Choose to be in the emotional end state that you will want to materialize, and just become it, right? And the more times that you do this, you're confirming the identity of that particular person that you would want to become, and everything will literally just start coming to you simply because you are that particular thing, right? Now, people think like you need all these techniques for manifestation, and that's false. Like, I keep saying this like over and over again, because it's all the same shit. Like, if I'm constantly watching videos on manifestation, I'm constantly watching videos on law of attraction, law of detachment, law of assumption, I'm not being the person that already has that thing. Because like, if I'm trying to manifest a fucking like penthouse, and I live in a fucking a 1-bedroom home, and I keep watching videos on how to manifest this thing, I'm subconsciously telling myself I don't know how to manifest. When you do, we learn how to manifest as soon as we were born, right? From the moment that you were born, everything in your life is from you, is a manifestation from you. Okay, so if I'm constantly watching these videos trying to gain a new insight on how to manifest, when you already know how to manifest, I'm denying the version of myself that already has that already manifested that particular thing. So overconsumption of like law of attraction content denies the identity of the person that will have that thing. Believe it or not, like, if you overconsume content, you're actually working against yourself, believe it or not. I had to like learn this for a while, because I was like, bro, why is none of this shit in my life changing on me? I'm learning about how to change shit in my life, and none of this shit is changing. Well, I had to like stop consuming the fucking content and actually do that shit, bro. I had to actually be that person. I didn't want to take the actions to become that person, right? And you have to be real with yourself about that. So if you're over consuming, you're not being that identity. Now, manifestation is really simple. It's a very simple process, right? Your thoughts become emotions. Your emotions become vibration. Your vibration becomes your frequency, right? Now, that frequency is going to attract, when the process of you changing your frequency from one thing to another, obviously is going to be instability, right? So that instability is going to manifest certain situations in your life to where you have a choice to identify with the old version of yourself, or you have the choice to identify with the new version of yourself. And your ability to discern whether or not you should identify with the situation or not, that's manifestation, right? Especially if you have a end goal in mind, you know for a fact that's what you want. Because if I have all these goals and they're constantly changing, I'm not giving my manifestation enough time to actually materialize. You can extrapolate this to literally any fucking situation, bro. Any fucking situation. Like, if I wanted to have a better relationship with my parents, if I wanted to have a better relationship with my girlfriend, if I wanted a better relationship with my fucking cat, right? Anything. If I wanted a car, if I wanted a house, if I wanted a better body, if I wanted material success, if I wanted financial success, every fucking thing works with this ideology, right? Because you become God. If I'm God and somebody asked me to make this happen, and they had doubt after they asked me if I would have the ability to make that happen, I wouldn't make it happen. I would prove them right simply because they had doubt. I wouldn't do it. Because why are you doubting me as God? That sounds ridiculous. Why would you doubt me as God? I have power over everything on this fucking third dimensional plane. Why the fuck would you doubt me? So I'm going to prove you right for that doubt, simply because you doubted me. And God works the same way. The God energy, the creator energy works the same way. It wants to prove you right. Right? So you have to think of everything in your life as serving you. Anything that you deem as positive or negative is serving you at that particular moment for your benefit and not your detriment, right? Because if you see majority of your stuff in your life that happens to you as a detriment, that's what's going to be in your reality. It's what you focus on. If I focus on bullshit, I'm only going to get bullshit. If I focus on success, if I focus on bossing up, if I focus on elevating myself, that's what I'm going to see. Like, for example, one thing that I noticed in my life, once I started actually locking in and focusing on prosperity, I started to realize, hold up, everybody around me got their own little hustle, bro. Right? Because I seen that in myself. Before. I never even seen that. But if you really pay attention, everybody has their own hustle, whether they're working a 9 to 5 or not, because people are starting to wake up and realize, hold up, this system isn't benefiting me. This system isn't designed to make me live my best life. And they're realizing that shit, bro. And they're starting to venture out into the entrepreneurial mindset and starting their own side hustle, right? You also have to remove the need for certainty. You have to give yourself certainty. If you look outside of yourself for confirmation, it'll never work. Manifestation will never work. This is why in the Bible it talks about the importance of having faith. Because faith is really, if you think about it, faith is really like internal confirmation. There's nowhere in the world where I can receive faith externally. If you think about it, there's nobody around me that can give me faith. I have to give faith to myself. And faith, it really should have been conviction in the Bible, but faith is really conviction. So there's no circumstance around me that can give me conviction unless I've given that to myself first, because that's what I'm going to see. If I'm going to see, if I internally feel doubt, I'm going to see situations in my life that confirm that doubt. If I feel fear, there's going to be situations in my life that confirm that feeling of fear. So don't ever put yourself at a lower position that you can already be at. You can put yourself in a positive state and you'll begin to see positivity around you, right? And the reason it feels weird, especially if you think negatively all the time, the reason it feels weird to think positive is because you gotta think about if I was trying to change my frequency as a person, that change is going to feel unknown. Now the reason it feels weird is because it's unknown. Your mind is trying, your entire being is trying to keep you safe. You got to get rid of that shit. You got to You gotta transcend that feeling and realize like you are God on this planet. Self-sabotage comes from your old frequency. So if you're like attempting to do a new thing, if you're attempting to materialize something in your life, your old frequency will literally try to trap you back to the old frequency because it doesn't want to leave. You got to see your old frequency as like an entity. Your new frequency, your old frequency as an entity. The entity as the old frequency is going to try to trap you. So the reason it does this is because like you're killing that old version of yourself off. So you got to think about it like from its own perspective. So the old frequency is thinking like, bro, I was with you like this entire time. Why are you wanting to discard me now? Everything around you that you see, I've brought this into your life. Why would you want to discard me now? So it's going to try to trap you. It's going to try to trap you. So you have to transcend above those traps and discard it, even though it's trying to fucking trap you, and step into your new frequency or your new identity. Now, how it tries to trap you is negative frequency emotions. So like fear, doubt, uncertainty. You have to understand this and realize when this shit happens, because it's sneaky. That shit is sneaky as fuck. Like you'll be trying to do differently for yourself. And you know, if you do the specific action, if you not do the specific action, it'll help you. It'll have a net benefit for you. But it'll try to convince you that like you're doing the wrong thing. It'll feel like you're doing the wrong thing when you're not. You internally, you're not. But your thoughts, it'll try to trap you, bro. One situation that you know that you're moving in the right direction is everything is getting worse in your life. Like you look around you, everything is falling apart. People are leaving your life. You're losing material things, your fucking car crashes and shit. But this is only to a G check from the universe to really see if you say you are who you are. And it's also to see if you're going to get trapped in that old identity, right? So if people are leaving my life and I'm trying to be this new person, I have to make space. My frequency has to make space for the new people that's going to come into my life, right? Because I can't be interacting with the same people as my old identity, because I wouldn't be a frequency match to those people, right? But people, they look at the material, they look at the third dimension, and they say, well, everything is going bad. I don't really want to do this anymore. All this shit has been taken from my life. I don't really want to do this anymore. But you have to, again, transcend above that shit and realize like, okay, this is my confirmation that one, I'm doing something right, and also it's going to get replaced with new shit, new better stuff. You have to understand that, right? People, they get too attached to the material, they get too attached to 3D, and it stops their progress, and they revert back to them old selves. Like it'll be some like unexplained ass shit. It'll be some like weird ass, unexplainable ass situation to where it's like, bro, what the fuck? Like, why is this even happening? Why is this even happening to me? Like, why me? And when you ask that question, like when something happens in your life and you ask why me, that's how you know you're doing something right. And you're actually going forward and making a change in your life that's going to be beneficial for you. You just have to go above that shit and realize, no, it's for me and not against me. It's serving me and not to my detriment. But majority of people, they don't know that, bro. So when shit happens to them and they get scared, they revert back to that low frequency fear and scarcity. It literally glues them back to their old frequency, bro. And they're cooked. It's over for them at that particular moment because they reverted back to their own selves. That's why it's so hard for like majority of niggas to actually like glow up in life. It's because they're tied to that old identity, right? And it's also harder for you if you're attached to like material shit to be able to elevate past that point because you're attached to it. Now, if you're attached to that thing and it gets stripped away from you, you're in this negative state, bro, you're cooked. It's over because when you've signaled to the universe, like, I have an attachment to this thing, and because of that attachment, it has the ability to off-center my emotional point to a negative state, and it's only going to keep reflecting that, right? But if that same material item that you're attached to, and it puts you in a positive state because it's not there anymore, it's only going to reflect that positive state, and it's going to bring you something way better than what you fucking had. That's why, like, now I don't even really trip, like, if a nigga leave my life, or I lose hella friends, or I like lose this fucking material item. Like, I don't give a fuck, because if I know eventually it'll get replaced with better people, it'll get replaced with better things, and that's how you continue to elevate within your life. Shout out Neuro Knowledge for this quote once again. So he says, manifestation is a degree to which you're not emotionally dependent upon seeing reality change, right? So if you're not emotionally dependent upon seeing reality change, no matter what the fuck is happening around you, that moment is when all this shit is going to manifest. Like, if I'm trying to make 10K a month in my business and I'm negative fucking 10K, but me being negative 10K doesn't emotionally sway me, and I still have a positive emotion to that fucking situation, bro, what do you think gonna be around the corner? The fucking 10K a month, if I continue to do the actions regardless of what my fucking reality is showing me. That's manifestation. That's God. That's all knowing. Because even if you're materially in reality at a negative point or at a down point, you can see the light, you can still see the vision and still work towards it regardless of what the fuck you see. That's fucking God, bro. That's God's creation. That's literally God's creation. Like, this is, you gotta think about it like this. Before God created fucking Earth, did this nigga see Earth? Yes, he seen Earth, but was it in fucking reality? No, it wasn't fucking in reality. That's how creation works, bro. You can't be connected to seeing reality, bro. You literally, like, you have to live in your mind. You have to live in your mind. The mind is the real world, bro. So if you can see fucking life from here and not here, if you don't identify with none of this physical shit, you have the ability to be God. You are God at that point. That's your God state. Living in here. Listening to here. Listening to yourself. Because you will tell yourself what the fuck to do, regardless of what the fuck any of this shit say. Can't identify with it. This is why it's important to deny, choose, and be. Because you deny the physical reality. You choose to be God. You choose to be that particular identity that you want to become. And the reason that you don't identify with the physical is because your old frequency, the only thing it wants is an emotional reaction. Your old frequency is only looking for an emotional reaction because your emotion is the glue to your old frequency, to any frequency, right? If I visualize like the specific like 5-10 second scene over and over again of my desired reality, and I feel extreme emotion to that visualization, that becomes my new frequency, right? Now, if I feel extreme emotion in a negative aspect to the situation that just manifested in my life that I had no reason on why it came into my life, it could be fucking negative. I have a negative emotion to that situation. It's going to glue me to that situation. And this is why it's hard to get rid of like old traumas, because your negative emotion is the glue to that fucking situation. So you have to change. The past and the future don't exist, right? So your memories, believe it or not, don't exist. You experienced it, but it doesn't exist in the present moment. So this is why you have the ability to relive a memory and change how it went emotionally. Then you'll feel like it never happened, because it doesn't exist. The future doesn't exist, but you can see creation in your mind in the present moment to make it fucking exist. You can influence reality at this moment in time, the fucking present moment, to create the future, but the future doesn't exist. The reason why childhood traumas are such an impact on people's daily lives, even as adults, is because that emotional reaction at that moment in time, right? This is why kids are so emotionally volatile, is because their emotions are strong and they really don't know how to manage their emotions, right? They feel things very intensely. So a certain situation can happen to you as a child and you feel an extreme intense emotion to that situation. and that affects how you move in fucking life from that moment in time, because you had a particular emotional reaction to that situation, whether it be negative or positive. So this is why you have to like do some inner shadow work and realize like, okay, what happened to me as a kid that influences why I act like this now? And you can literally reinvent yourself from that past experience and change your present moment, because you don't identify with that situation. Like people always ask me like, bro, why are you like so nonchalant? Why are you so neutral? Like, I can never really understand like how you feel about this thing. Because once you understand like how this shit actually work, neutrality is the best position emotionally and mentally that you can be in situations that manifest in your life. Because you can choose like how you feel about a certain thing. You don't have like a specific deposition about what the fuck just happened to you. Like, if you see it at a neutral standpoint, like it is what it is, it doesn't affect you, and you literally forget that shit even happened. Right? You don't let it identify. You don't let it identify you. You don't identify with that situation. Like, if somebody walked up to me and be like, bro, you're so fucking ugly, like you're just terrible, I'd be like, okay, type shit. Like, it is what it is. Like, I know I'm not that thing, so I'm not going to identify with that situation. Like, I don't care if like a million people told me I was fucking hideous. I know I'm not hideous, so I just don't identify with that situation. I'll be like, okay, it is what it is, type shit. You have to move the same fucking way. It's the same thing, bro. All this manifestation shit is the same thing, bro. It's the same thing. Like, I would say watch out for people that are trying to sell you shit, and watch out for people that tell you to do these stupid ass techniques, because you don't have to do these stupid ass techniques. The only technique that I would say that's beneficial is SATS, SATS. I forgot what the actual like acronym like the shit is, but basically what SATS is like, it's a point between like you falling asleep and actually falling asleep. Like you're drowsy, but you can still like think about shit. So in that drowsy state, you have the ability to influence the subconscious mind, because majority of your actions, majority of your thoughts and beliefs are in the subconscious mind. So if you can reprogram the subconscious mind through visualization and emotion, strong emotion, you can change anything in this fucking planet, bro. Any fucking thing. You can literally make a whole 360 in your life simply because you change your subconscious beliefs about a particular thing, bro.